Hey guys, last time we had a brief but impactful review of happening by artist Kang Guk-jin at Korean National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art. But today, here at Surim Art Center, we are going to take a deeper look at details of Kang Guk-jin's body of work. The exhibition is called Media, Abstract Experiment, and Doing Transmediology. And its goal is to re-examine the working world of the late Kang Guk-jin from today's perspective. In addition to being the first artist of the happening movement and the first technology artist in Korea, Kang Guk-jin explored various genres and mediums such as objects, three-dimensional art, print, and painting. From the late 1960s to the early 1970s, Kang Guk-jin and a young generation of artists who had graduated from college at the time began to roll out a new media art format with the slogan, avant-garde. This was an expression against the existing art market system, which was highly institutionalized in a way that prevented the empowerment of artists. He mastered various printmaking techniques and continued to explore and experiment with the abstract. This exhibition showcases his 3D and performing artwork along with his prints and paintings, all in chronological order according to his artistic career. His early works are installed and displayed as archives, photo materials, and images. As a member of the social groups Nongko and New Exhibition, Kang Guk-jin exhibited many of his paintings, prints, and performing art pieces. In 1967, as a happening artist, he exhibited plastic bag emitting colored water in the form of a performance on the opening day of the Korean Young Artists Association exhibition. He tried to create art in daily life, working with everyday supplies and utilizing waste materials like other Western-style pieces at the time. Identifying with avant-garde movement, he tried to critique reality and civilization, an effort that could not be contained to the canvas and spilled over into his performance art. It is no exaggeration to say that Kang Guk-jin is a historical figure in Korean modern art history. In fact, he was the first artist to introduce print art to Korea. Since no colleges offered print art classes in the early 1970s, at that time he opened a small art studio where he invited young artists to attend lessons about print techniques. Rather than a personal art studio, Kang Guk-jin's art studio was more like an open space for everyone eager to learn about print. Even though he taught print techniques to his students, he never stopped in his journey to master the print art, creating more than 260 print art pieces in the process. In today's context, most prints are produced with digital media like computers, smartphones, and laser and 3D printers. In the 1970s, however, Kang Guk-jin explored different methods, in many respects utilizing prints as a new medium. From 1975, he experimented with various print techniques using wood blocks, silkscreen, mezzotints, and more. He was fascinated by print art as print art pieces are not made by hand alone. It starts by hand and reaches completion with the aid of a machine. Between 1973 and 1975, specifically, he introduced various types of copper plate print techniques, even developing a copper plate print press for himself and other students to use. Through sheer innovation, he remodeled noodle machines and dental tools to build a copper plate print press and other tools. It was the first print press of its kind in Korea and ignited further development of press machinery in the Korean market. He focused on multiple themes and created a series of work including line, dot, rhythm, and the light history. He had been focusing more on how to express himself rather than what to express. So, in the late 1960s, he worked with the happening movements and became interested in objects and 3D art. He could not ignore using contrast and complementary colors. By repeating the lines, he tried to immortalize the changes of the lines and store the story of these lines on the canvas. This process not only makes his work unique, but it also transformed print art into another type of painting. Kang Guk-jin aimed to demonstrate cultural and historical changes through the repetition of lines and the stories these lines contain. In the 1960s and 70s, Korean society was undergoing exponential economic and social change. Instead of seeking the richness, sanctity, and infinite freedom of nature, modern Korean people, he thought, were driven by the pursuit of paradise and immersed in the soulless realm of industrialization. In his prints, Kang Guk-jin expressed historical change through the use of colors and the changing of social relations through lines. As the repetition of these colors and lines continues, a certain shape is inevitably formed, as if different issues, relations, and persons were intertwined in a way that fosters change. Kang Guk-jin is also well known in the performing arts world, and he's also known for his objects. He thought that once an object had left the canvas, rather than being drawn on the canvas, it would be easy for him to locate contemporary art objects in everyday life. He believed that anything and everything, even the most ordinary of things, could become his art objects. In his hands, the objects are transformed into new products, according to his aesthetic sense and creative touch, opening up the field of contemporary arts in Korea. Since the 1970s, his 3D artwork and object installations have been critically acclaimed. Today, we explore the world of the artist Kang Guk-jin, a pioneer and historical figure in Korea's contemporary art scene. I hope you enjoyed this review, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time!